So a few days ago, I tried out Star Wars Unlimited at a pre-release. And in this video, I just want to go over the pre-release deck I built, talk about the experience, talk about the game, and then I won 4 packs. So at the very end, I'm going to open up these 4 packs and we're gonna see if I get any good pulls. So first of all, my background as a card player before I get into this is I've played a lot of Magic. I've also, for Fantasy Flight's other games, I've played Arkham Horror the card game a lot. I've played a lot of Arkham Horror the card game. I've also played Netrunner. I know Fantasy Flight has made a number of other card games, but I have not played them. But I've been really excited for this because I am a big fan of those other Fantasy Flight card games. So I've been really excited to see what they were going to bring to the table with their first, actual trading card game. And my first impressions are incredibly positive. But so first of all, before going to pre-release, I read the quick guide on how to play on my way there. Like, I had never played this game before. I didn't know anything. I didn't play the starter decks or anything. I showed up to the pre-release with a vague knowledge of the rules and tried to build a deck. So when we go through this deck, having played a little bit more now in the last couple of days, we're going to see what I think of the deck that I built. But the deck that I built was Jyn Erso. So in the pre-release kit, every single person got Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader as a leader, and these are sort of like special versions that are from like the starter decks. And they are playable, which meant that most people that I saw doing well were playing a Luke Skywalker deck. But I assume at other pre-releases people were also playing Vader, but I figured everyone was going to be like either Luke or Vader, and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to, I didn't want to just be another Luke or another Vader. So I tried out Jyn Erso, and I think Jyn is really strong and limited. This ability she has to attack with a unit and give the defender -1/-0 for the attack. It just makes it so you can really trade up and get good trades like constantly, and obviously in limited, that's something that's really valuable. So I think I made a good choice. I did end up going 2-1, by the way, with this deck. And then for my base, I don't know where I had to return the base because I didn't actually open a red base. But my other color was I was playing red. So if you're not familiar with Star Wars Unlimited, the way it works, and this is really cool mechanic, especially for limited, is your leader has these 2 aspects that determines 2 of the 3 sort of colors of your deck. And then you get to pick a base, which I'll pull out a base card from here just so you guys can see what they look like if you're not familiar with the game. The base cards, they look like this. So this is another yellow aspect one. And so the idea is that these colors in combination, this would have 2 yellow aspects and the white aspect, which is heroism. I think the yellow one's called cunning. So this determines the colors you can use in your deck without penalty. If you don't have the colors, you have to pay an extra 2 resources to play a card per aspect. So I think in limited and draft, being able to draft a good, like having this leader as the first thing you draft and having that determine your deck, it's sort of like picking a class in Hearthstone. So the deck that I played was, I thought it was a very aggressive deck. It didn't quite turn out that way. So we have Forced Surrender as a really nice top end. This Snow Speeder is really good. This Chopper is one of the rares that I pulled, that I played in the deck. And Chopper was really good, especially because I had some other Spectres in the deck, as you're going to see. Some of these events like the Surprise Strike and the Asteroid Sanctuary were not so great. This card is really good with Jyn because you can bring Jyn out Erso, on turn 6 versus Luke, who is turn 7, and then you can sort of get in for a lot of damage. This one, I don't know how to feel about it because the return of the non-leader unit is mandatory on this card. But a 2 mana 2/4 with a raid 1 is really good. Sorry, 2 resource cost 2/4. This, I really like this card, Snapshot Reflexes. So it's a permanent, like 1 mana +1/+1 to something, but then you play it, you can attack. So it lets you buff something and attack it, and then the buff sticks around. This just seems like such a powerful limited card. This card, see, this is one of the things where, like, coming from Magic, I felt misled. Karabast. This card reads so good. A friendly unit deals damage to an enemy unit equals the amount of damage on the friendly unit +1. I turn this into a resource almost every time. Having said that, this is one of my foils. In fact, I should probably be separating out the cards by rarity for when I disassemble the deck in a moment. I didn't get any huge crazy hits as you're going to see. I mean, Chopper is probably one of the best cards that I got. Or at least I didn't feel so at the time. We'll see going back through. I might see some stuff I didn't see before. Sabine Wren. This card is messed up and limited. 2 mana, 2/3. While there are at least 3 aspects among other friendly units, this unit can't be attacked unless she gains Sentinel. On attack, you may deal 1 damage to the defender or a base. Incredible. I mean, this is just a 2/3, you know, unblockable for the most part. I guess not really unblockable in this game because someone could have Sentinel, but just being able to like hit for 3 and having to just not be able to do anything about your unit is just so strong. Shoot First. This is a really good. See, Shoot First feels much better than Karabast and a lot of my other events here. I mean, because it only costs 1 resource and it has Sword of First Strike for the attack, so the opponent can't attack back. That card is very powerful. So is Lawful Insurgent. Like, I had a lot of really good cards here. Ooh, Ezra Bridger. See, this was like the real MVP in my deck. I mean, it's 3 resources for a 3/4. When this unit completes an attack, so it does have to survive, look at the top card of your deck. You may play it, discard it, or leave it on top of your deck. So this just lets you, it's effectively card draw, because if you like what's on top of your deck, you just play it. And unlike in a game like Magic, there's no land cards in this deck, so every card you hit is a playable card. And it's also, so this is another really interesting card, so it's not just the card draw, it's not just card advantage, it's also, I don't know the extent to which this is going to exist as a concept in this game, but it's also action compression, if I'm thinking in like Arkham Horror terms, because you both get to attack with this unit and also play a card, but only spend 1 action to do so, which can be really helpful for being able to do things like take the initiative, which is a huge part of this game. This now, because this was yellow and I was playing yellow, white, and red, I would have had the aspect penalty for 1 to pay 7 for this. I never played this card. I only ever drew this card early and then I was forced to resource it. I do think this is really good even if you have to splash it. Just being able to spend an action, bounce a unit, and also get a body on the board seems really powerful. It's very powerful, you know, when limited in Magic and other games. You know, some more, you know, these things this card is really good. Benthic 2 Tubes. So it's a 1 resource 2/2, which if you think in Magic terms is overstated, but something I noticed is that because you start on 2 resources on turn 1 in this game, 1 resource cards have a very interesting role where they have to be overstated like this or else they just get completely overrun. This one is very good though. It has on attack, another friendly red unit gets raid 2 for this phase, which means that unit gets +2/+0 while attacking. This is an incredible beatdown card. This is what you want if you're trying to be like really an aggressive Jyn Erso, or there's some other aggressive leaders. There's, oh my god, what's her name? There's one that like flips for 4 resources that's red-white. That's very aggressive, but I don't know if you can really do in sealed because you'd have to get an insane pool to be aggressive in this game is what I think. So it feels like more of a draft thing. If it's not obvious at this point, I'm really coming at this game from a limited point of view. I love limited. This 4 resources for a 3/4 restore 2. This didn't quite fit in with my deck. I was trying to be more aggressive than this. This feels like more of a control card, help you stabilize. Has like a good defensive stat line, but this is like filler. This is like a C- D+ sort of card, I think. Especially when you consider there's things like 3 mana 3/4s, or 3 resource cost, 3 cost 3/4s, I should say. Having a 4 mana 3/4 doesn't really seem that interesting. I had a lot of these Asteroid Sanctuaries. They were not as good as I thought they would be. I mean, they did do a lot for me, but exhaust an enemy unit. Like, you think about this in Magic terms, or you tap a unit down, you're like, oh, they can't attack or block with it. But in this game, Sentinel is effectively taunt from Hearthstone. You can exhaust them, you can tap them, but they still have Sentinel. You still can't attack through that unit, even if you exhaust it. Which makes this card a lot worse than I had originally thought it was. I thought this card was insane. This card is really only insane against decks that don't have lots of Sentinel units. When I went up, my one loss was to a deck that had tons of Sentinel units, and just having 3 copies of this, it was just practically a dead card. Waylay, very powerful. This is one of the things that makes this game super interesting, is the way that the turn structure works and the timing. You have to think through everything about when you're going to play your cards. So Waylay was really good because what you want to do is you don't want to bounce the unit and just have them immediately replay it. So you have to wait until they don't have enough resources to replay it this turn, and then you Waylay it, and then that thing is like gone for effectively 2 turns if you can manage to play it out right. This card always overperformed. Every time I played Waylay, it was nuts. Something worth noting is that in this game, a lot of the removal says, return or destroy a non-leader unit, which makes your leader units very difficult to kill. They have to kill it with damage or like actually attack into them. They can't just like remove your leader. Which was something I found when I was playing Sealed with a friend a day ago on Tabletop Sim, is that this makes upgrades, which are sort of like enchantment auras that buff units, really powerful to play on your leader, because the downside of those sorts of cards is that they could just remove or bounce the unit, and then you just lose the upgrades, right? But if you put it on your leader, they just have to deal with all the extra health and stats you've given it, either by being able to do enough damage that they can get through the extra health, or having to attack into it multiple times. So something like Chewbacca, who's I think like a 2/9 or something, 2/9 Sentinel, such an incredible target for upgrades, and I think that's going to be very powerful and limited going forwards. This card, pretty good. Saboteur is just something you kind of need in order to deal with people who are going all in on shields or have really annoying Sentinel units. This, I don't know what to think about this card. It's like a Thoughtseize that costs 2, but this effect seems a lot less powerful in this game because, or at least in limited, because you're drawing 2 cards a turn. So and your hand is so much smaller. It's like at any given point in time, they're going to have, 2 or 3 cards in hand. And it's not like Magic where they could have like 5 or 6. You play this early and you get their best card they're planning to play turns later. Early in the game, if they have like a 6 or 7 cost card, they're just going to resource it. They don't want it in their hand. They don't care about discarding it. And then later on, they're top decking, and something like this, really, you can only pull their best card if you have the initiative. And if you don't have the initiative, you get like what? Their worst of the 2 cards they have in their hands. This card underperformed. Maybe I just don't know the game well enough yet. It is a rare though, so that's pretty good. It might be a lot better constructed, but in limited, I was expecting it to impress me, and it did not. This card is very good, 4/4 that can conditionally have Sentinel. So conditional Sentinel can actually be really good depending on what the condition is. There's a card, I don't think it's in here, that has Sentinel when it's undamaged. And that's insane, because if you have multiple Sentinel unit, or like they can attack it, it loses Sentinel, and then you play another Sentinel unit to protect your now damaged unit, which is just so good for being able to get like profitable trades in this game. This card, 1 mana, it can be a 2/3. These raid units are so risky though, because if you end up being on the defense, they just become garbage. Like this is just a 0/3 as a blocker, which is terrible. Mining Guild TIE Fighter, yeah. This deck was solid. Syndicate Lackeys, I have a much lower opinion on. Like, I think this Snowspeeder, which is like borderline like a neutral card, is better than the Syndicate Lackeys by a wide margin. Snowspeeder is really good. It's like almost a reason to be Heroism. This is gonna be an early pick and draft. So I didn't get a lot of insane pulls as far as rarity and foils and things. Even like Ezra Bridger is very powerful, but it's just an uncommon. But let's look through the cards that I didn't play. So we got this, very conditional, confiscate, defeat, and upgrade. But conditional cards are a lot better in this game than I had initially pegged them for. Because if it's not relevant, you can just defeat them. You can just resource them. And something like this would have been really good against, like, I should have brought this in one of my decks where the opponent was like a blue deck, where my opponent had like a 2-cost upgrade that gives +3/+3, but the unit can't attack bases. This would be great to just defeat that, and then it'll still have all the damage marked on it, so oftentimes it will just immediately die. I need to try that out more. Now we have the Snowspeeder here. This should have been in my deck. This card's insane. Having played more, I can just see this card is just really, really good. Other than that, I'm just gonna kind of flip through here. I'm gonna look for higher rarity cards. See, this would be really good if you were, oh no, this isn't, no, this is not the one I was thinking of. Ooh, Saw Gerrera. Okay, so this is a rare, interesting. 4 cost 5/4. As an additional cost for each opponent to play an event, they must deal 2 damage to their base. This feels like more of a constructed thing. People were not playing a ton of events in Limited, but it seems very good. I should probably be dividing these into like commons and uncommons to help me sort through them. So we got uncommon, common, 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 common. So, see, this is actually probably pretty good. A 1 mana, 1 cost 3/1. Force Choke. This is the card I was thinking of earlier. I think this card is really good. If you control Force Unit, the defense costs 1 less, but like at 2, it's still really good. You just have to deal 5 damage to your non-vehicle unit. Sure, they draw a card, but if you're destroying some really powerful card like Saw Gerrera or something, or like Ezra, I mean, you're just so happy with that trade. Okay. First Legion Snowtrooper. So this seems, While attacking a damaged unit, this unit gets +2/+0 and gains Overwhelm. I don't know. I mean, I guess this is good if you're playing Vader in the pre-release because he can damage stuff, but... So this is the card I was talking about. While it's on damage, you gain Sentinel. This card's a lot better than it looks, because if you have Sentinel stuff in your deck, what ends up happening is they have to attack something into this. This thing probably lives because it has 6 health. And then after they take that action, you can play another Sentinel card, and then this is protected. And this can trade off for something that only has like 4 health or something. So, which makes it very easy to 2-for-1 with this card. Yoda, I underestimated this card. 3 cost 2/4, restore 2 is just pretty good. We got more of these Vigilant Honor Guards. I mean, wow. I mean, I really should have been playing Luke. Imagine having 4 of this card with Luke putting shield on it. Wow. This card feels like more of a constructed card than a limited card. Ooh, I had no choice. So this is a rare. Choose up to 2 non-leader units. An opponent chooses one of those units. Return that unit to its owner's hand, put the other on the bottom of its owner's deck. This card's a lot better than I initially gave it credit for. I would, in retrospect, I would be looking at if I could play a deck, specifically because I had this card, I'd be looking at those colors to see if I could play them. Very, very powerful. Because what happens is, you choose 2 units, and yes, giving your opponent a choice is not good. You generally don't want to do it. But one of those units is going away forever. It's going on the bottom of their deck. They're never getting it back. And then the other one they have to pay for. And so if you're playing this late in the game, which you will, it costs 7, you're going to pick 2 cards that cost like 5 or 4 and a 5 or something. They're probably not going to be able to play the one that they get back this turn, and the other one's gone forever. I mean, it puts them in such a difficult position. It's just such a huge tempo play. 7th Fleet Defender, 3. So this card is really good. 3/3/2 shielded. Something like this is incredible, because this can just trade off for something with 3 health, and then it's still around to do it again because of the shielded. Absolutely love it. Bright Hope. Interesting. 4 cost 2/6 Sentinel. When played, you may return a friendly non-leader ground into its owner's hand if you do draw a card. Wow. I don't think I read this card during the pre-release. This is exceptional. I'd love to be playing that. That seems like a reason to be playing green. Playing it from your hand, it costs 1 less. So this is interesting. It's sort of like a ramp card, like one of those in Magic, one of those like 1 cost green cards that taps for mana. And wow, I have multiple of them. So this would be great for sort of like a green rampy thing. Search Your Feelings. So I got a lot of good rares here. I don't remember. I don't even think when I was doing the pre-release I knew what the rarities were. Search your deck for a card and draw, then shuffle your deck. I mean, that's just a straight up tutor. Probably pretty good if you have, at least a couple of really good bombs. We got some not super interesting commons here. Lieutenant Childson. So units in this arena can't attack your non-sentinel unit. Okay, that's just Sentinel. When played, reveal up to 4 blue cards from your hand. For each card revealed this way, give an experience token to this unit. This does not feel like a limited card at all. I mean, by the time you hit this thing, you're going to struggle to have 4 cards in hand, and having them be blue is just not, it's just not realistic. This is okay, but you have better 6-drops. See, this one's rough. Give an experience token to each of the 3 trooper units. You're just not likely to have that sort of synergy in limited. See, this is just, you got some big bodies here. You'd be happy to play these in a deck that just wants, some top end. Cell block guard, very powerful. Okay, I didn't remember this. I have a hyperspace card here. So these hyperspace cards are absolutely gorgeous. Like, I cannot tell you how much every single card in Star Wars Unlimited has the hyperspace, like, full art treatment. And God, I just love looking at it. And this is a really good card too. 2 cost 2/2 when played, you may attack with a unit. If it's an Imperial unit, gets +2/+0 for this attack. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful effect. I'm so happy I have this. In fact, I'm gonna put this in a sleeve. God, I just love looking at this. I'm gonna put it over here. Okay, got some more. I mean, I got more of these Snowtrooper lieutenants. Wow, I got a lot. I got a lot of them. I definitely could have been playing some other decks. So these are some upgrades. Blue has a lot of these. They are pretty darn good. Those were commons, right? Yeah, okay. This effect is also really good. -2/-2. Some upgrades. The upgrades are a lot better than they look. Shielded. 6/4/6 shielded. When played, if you control the blue unit, heal 4 from your base. I don't know about that. It seems like a begrudgingly playable card. This is really good. This 4 cost 4/4 that can have ambush. It's very easy to meet the condition, and ambush cards are just very, very good and limited. Ooh, this is a rare. Agent Callus. 5 cost 4/4 ambush. After you play this unit, he may ready and attack an enemy unit. When another unique unit is defeated, you may draw a card. Use the ability only once each round. Fantastic. 5 costs for a 4/4. You're just happy to play in limited for the most part. I mean, rather 5 costs for a 4/4 with a potential upside like this. There are a number of uniques that are like uncommon. You will see them limited. I was playing a ton of them in my deck. This is not like insane or anything as far as rares go, but it is pretty good. While you have the initiative is very interesting in this game because this sort of card is really good in a slower mid-range or controlling deck that wants to be able to hold their own against aggro decks. 3 cost 3/3 that can heal off their base. It'll definitely get you there. I mean, these are just, very, very decent cards. I don't know what to think about this card. I have not played it or seen it played, but the problem is, like, yeah, they get big stat boosts, but because damage is permanent, the stat boosts fall off at the end of the turn. So unless they're trading into something, I guess that's the trick. You just want to, like, trade off your 2/2 for a 5/5. Because otherwise, when the health bonus falls off, they just die to the damage marked on them. This card is pretty good. 2 cost 1/1, draw a card. And then we have my leaders. So part of the problem was that I didn't have a lot of choice for leaders because I got 3 Director Krennigs. And then I got 2 Grand Moff Tarkins. I mean, yikes. So it was Jyn Erso, or it was Vader or Luke because of the pre-release. But not really a very good pool as far as, like, having choices. Which maybe explains why I didn't do some of the stuff that I had really good cards in. And we have my bases, and I think I see, yes. So we have a hyperspace base here. The full art is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna sleeve it up. I suspect the hyperspace of these, like, common bases are probably not super rare, but still looks really good. Ooh, oh wow, and then you have the hyperspace of the token on the other side. That's really cool. Oh, I love that. Then we have the promo foils of the leaders. And as you can see, as a Magic player, I was right at home here because they were curved to hell right out of the box. You hate to see it. But yeah, apparently that's just what card games are like these days, I guess. The foils come pre-curved. Very unhappy about this, but what can you do? I mean, the good news is that at least the foils I got out of the packs don't seem curved, but whatever those promo ones were from the pre-release kit definitely were. So all in all, I didn't get any legendaries. I just got, a number of good rares. Am I missing a rare? Because there should be one in each pack. Okay, because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have Chopper. Yeah, I must have not noticed one of these other cards as a rare, because I should have 6. Uh-oh. Let's take a peek real quick. These are all common. If I put a rare in the commons pile, I'm gonna feel very silly. No, I don't know where my last rare is. None of these leaders are rare, they're commons. Oh, it's in my deck. I'm stupid. My last rare was... No? I don't know. There should be 6. There's a 6th rare around here somewhere. But yeah. I didn't get super lucky with the pulls, but I got some interesting cards. I think Chopper's very good. I think I'd be very happy to play I Had No Choice as well. Agent Callus is probably pretty good in Constructed, at least, where your opponents are probably playing a lot of unique things. So now I have 4 packs. So I went 2 and 1. The place I was doing was very generous. I mean, I think 4 packs for 2 and 1 is very good. But I guess it's a pre-release new game, trying to have things interesting. So, okay. It's my first time opening packs outside of the pre-release. Something you'll immediately notice is that these are paper packs. Okay, so I know that when you draft, you have to take out the leaders, so I think you have to just like pull it out. Ooh boy, I think this is a rare leader. Yes, it is. Grand Inquisitor. Deal 2 damage to a friendly unit with 3 or less power and ready it. And then on attack, you may deal 1 damage to another friendly unit with 3 or less power and ready it. Wow. I mean, this definitely feels like a constructed thing. I think most of the rare leaders, rather than being like super powerful for limited, they're rare because they're not super limited viable and they're more like build arounds for constructed. But yeah, no, I'm very happy to get this. Then we have a common base. Death Trooper. Cantina Braggart. I don't know how to feel about this card. 1 cost 1/2 when defeated, make experience token to a unit. A lot of just, these are common cards. They're not crazy for the most part. Ooh, Frontier AT-RT. I don't know that I've seen this. While you control another vehicle unit, this unit gains ambush. Wow. Wow. Okay, that could be really good if you have a number of vehicles in your deck. Scavenger. Probably not great. This is probably much better than the Scavenger. Some more repeats. Ooh. 5 cost 5/5. Zeb or Aurelios. When this unit completes an attack, if the defender was defeated, you may deal 4 damage to a ground unit. Oh my god. That seems insane. I mean, it's a 5/5. It's gonna... okay, the trick is that's survive. But it's a 5/5. It's gonna live. So this trades for something small. Something smaller than it. Could trade for like a 4/4 or 4/5. And then you deal 4 damage to something else. And then this probably trades for something else afterwards. Oh my god, that's like a 3-for-1 practically. I'd be thrilled to get that in draft. Protector. Attachment against Sentinel. Wow, I haven't seen this before. That seems very powerful, but it is blue, so that's very difficult to play in draft or limited rather. You'd have to double up on blue, I think, for this card to be good, but still. Whoa, this is my first ever legendary card. Wow, okay, Devastator. His subtitle is Inescapable. 10 costs for green-black, 10/10, Sentinel Overwhelm. When played, you may deal damage to a unit equal to the number of resources you control. Oh my god. Wow, I mean, that is a game-winning play. I mean, this doesn't say non-leader unit. You can just kill a leader like this. Wow. wow, if you're playing one of those like green ramp decks, I mean, wow, imagine getting to play this just even like on turn 8 or something because you ramped twice. I mean, wow. First legendary did not disappoint. We got a foil. This is a hyperspace foil. Okay, wow. Look at that. Oh my god, this is gorgeous. Especially on the with the hyperspace effect, and because this card is set in space, just like moving it around like this and like seeing like the stars and stuff sort of like reflect the light. Oh, it looks so good. I mean, I know it's just a common, but it looks so good. Oh, I want more of these. Okay, this is immediately going in a sleeve. Oh yeah. Wow. So first non-pre-release pack, I got a legendary and a foil hyperspace card. Absolutely loving it. Let's keep this up. Oh my god, Devastator. Okay. So I think what I'm supposed to do with these packs is just turn them up and we'll see what the leader is. Okay, we got another Jin Ursa, which is just a common leader, but pretty good at limited. I'll put it. I have not figured out how I'm organizing these leaders and bases yet. So we got a common base. We've got common. This card is deceptively good and limited. 3 cost, 3/2. When played, you may defeat an upgrade. I mean, you can remove a shield that way. You can move an upgrade that's giving them stats, and if it has damage marked on it, it'll just die. Very, very good. Strike True. This is honestly one of the best removal cards in the format, I think. 3 cost, a friendly unit deals damage equal to its power to an enemy unit. So simple, but there's some words here that are missing that make this really good. Like, it's not non-leader units. You can have your unit deal damage to a unit in a different arena, so you can have your space unit deal damage to a ground unit or vice versa, which just ends up really powerful because whichever arena you're winning in, you can just absolutely mess up their best unit in the other arena. It's fantastic. Every time I've played it when playing Sealed with my friend, it has been wild. 4 cost, 3/4 Sentinel, fine, adequate. This card seems so good, and sometimes it is so good. But if you're not winning, if you're not being aggressive, this card is just so underwhelming. Waylay, love this card. Premium events. This card is disappointing. I don't like it. This is like a very begrudging include in a limited deck. TIE Fighter. Ooh, hyperspace. Look at this. Look at what the extended art does for this card. Like, look at how, I can't get over how good these extended art hyperspace cards look. Oh my god, I love them. And this card is really good, by the way. I'm just noticing what card this is. This is the 2 resource 2/2 shielded. This card's incredible. I mean, this card existed in Hearthstone. It was some sort of like mech thing, and it was like a scourge. It was infamous, that card, and it feels that powerful here. If you play it in like Chewbacca and give the Sentinel for a round, your opponent is groaning. If you put an upgrade on this thing while it still has the shielded, absolutely brutal. This card can just do so many things. I mean, at a bare minimum, it can trade for like, something with 4 health because it attacks it twice or gets attacked and then attacks in the crackback. It's just so annoying to deal with. And oh my god, this looks so good in the hyperspace art. We're just gonna put this in a sleeve. Put it over here with those lovely, lovely hyperspace cards. Okay, General Veer is very powerful. I mean, you see this card, you want to be playing Imperial. I mean, I guess in draft, you'll have to pick your leaders first, so you'll know whether or not you're in black, which is villainy. But if you are in black, this is like incredibly early pickup. Now, it is worth noting that Anthem effects like this are a lot worse in this game than in a game like Magic because the damage is permanent. So if you have a 3/3 with 3 damage marked on it, but it's currently a 4/4, and then someone kills General Veers, that 4/4 then becomes a 3/3 and instantly dies. So not quite as good as in Magic, but still a 3 cost 3/3 Anthem, very good. Ooh, I haven't seen this before. 2 cost 2/3 Inferno 4, Unforgetting. When played / when defeated, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Put any number of them on the bottom of your deck and the rest on the top in any order. Okay, so it's a 2 cost 2/3 and it gives you a lot of filtering. On its own, it seems fine. I'm guessing in combination with certain other cards that care about the top of your deck, this could be really powerful, but as it is, it's not really that impressive. It's just solid. Greedo. 1 cost 3/1. When defeated, you may discard a card from your deck. If it's not a unit, deal 2 damage to a ground unit. You're very unlikely to get this effect in limited, but honestly, 1 cost 3/1 is just a really good stat line. It's it can trade for 2 or 3 cost units. It only costs you 1. Your opponent's not likely. This isn't something where they're likely to have like 1/1s or something. There's nothing in this game currently that creates 1/1 tokens, so this card is going to trade for something most likely. And then you have a chance. I mean, you could always just win the die roll and get some really good value out of it. Bombing Run, my rare. Choose an arena, ground, or space. Deal 3 damage to each unit in that arena? Oh my god, this is like the first board wipe I've seen. This is insane. Wow. And then my foil, oh, it's another rare. Wedge Antilles. I mean, we all know who this guy is, right? Wedge Antilles, Star of the Rebellion, sure is. 5 cost 5/5. Each friendly vehicle unit gets +1/+1 and gains ambush. Oh my god. Wow, okay. These were some, I mean, now that's a great pack. That's a wonderful pack. Put the foil card here, and then let's put the rare here with the other rares and legendaries. Wow. I mean, 2 amazing packs so far. Let's see if we can keep this up. Okay, what do we got? Boba Fett. Okay, so this is a common leader. Oh, actually, I've played this in Sealed with my friend. When an enemy unit leaves play, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, ready a resource. So I wasn't sure what to make of this at first. This is basically Gruul in Magic terms. It's about sort of ramping and getting out, you know, some big beefy units really, really fast. Or rather just being able to have more mana faster early in the early turns and try and just really get a tempo advantage like that. Because if you play if you have 4 resources, you play a 2-cost unit, and then you trade for their unit or kill one of their units, and then you go back to 3, and then you play a 3-cost thing. It's like you just played a 2 and a 3 on turn 4. Very powerful, some really good tempo plays you can make there. I really like this. This is one I'm gonna be looking to play a lot in Limited. And we have another common base. Okay, some more commons. Ready unit with 3. I don't know what to think about this card. Ready unit with 3 or less power. What do you honestly? If you're watching this video, what do you think of this card? Like in Limited, is this playable? Is this good? Is this garbage? I didn't play it because I didn't know what to make of it. I'm genuinely interested to see what other people think of this card. Oh, I really like this skiff. I think it's very good. Once again, I really like the Honor Guards. Agitator's very good. This is a very strong. Okay, this card, Rogue Operative, this is a messed up common. 3 cost 2/4 for Saboteur and Raid 2. That makes this often a 3 cost 4/4 at common that can, like if your opponent has like a shield, like 3/4 shielded, like we saw a blue like 3/4 shielded earlier. This just attacks into and kills that. And then this thing still survives. Insane. And also it can just attack past their sentinels to deal 4 damage to their base if you want. I think this card is huge pickup. We got some, slot filler neutral card. Ooh, this is it's a hyperspace subpar neutral card. Incredible. 5 cost 4/4 sentinel. I mean, but look at this. The hyperspace ones that are actually in space just look so good. I love it. Let's just put this in a sleeve. Okay, Bib Fortuna, definitely not a limited card. Mon Mothma. When played, choose top 5 cards of your deck from Rebel card, reveal it and draw it. Very good. Obviously, card selection is just powerful. I don't know what to think about this card. 2 cost, 2/3 action. Play an Imperial unit from your hand, paying its cost. It enters play ready. Each opponent may ready a unit. I guess if you're going first, this is powerful. Like if you have the initiative and you play this when all your opponent's stuff is already ready, I guess that's the trick with this card. That's what you need to be doing. Because if your opponent readies anything off of this, you feel really bad. Okay, my rare is Frontline Shuttle. Action, defeat this unit, attack with a unit, even if it's exhausted. It can't attack bases for this attack. No idea what to make of this card. I have to imagine it's very powerful, but I just don't know how good it is in limited context. Restocks. We got a foil common. Choose up to four cards in a discard pile, put them in the bottom of their owner's deck in a random order. I can't imagine a world where this is playable in any format, in any context. Someone's gonna have to show me what this card does. Okay, not a great pack, not as insane as my previous two, but you know, they can't all be winners. Let's hope we get something really good for this last one. I really enjoy opening these paper packs. It's very satisfying. Bam. Grand Moff Tarkin returns again. Saw a lot of him. That's my third one. Neutral base. Resupply. So this is the ramp card. Put this event into play as a resource. You're going to want this card if you're playing green. Oh, Academy Defense Walker. Oh my God. My friends, we were playing some Sealed on Tabletop Sim. He had 3 of these and he just kept playing it turn after turn after turn. And he was playing the blue-black leader, which cares about damaged units. This card is just such a beating. 6 cost, 5/5 Sentinel. When played, give an experience token to each friendly damaged unit. Oh my God. And it's so, because this has Sentinel, like if they start having this in multiple or other Sentinel units, it becomes so easy for them to just have damaged units that are protected that just keep getting bigger. And yeah, this card's incredible. Common. I love this card again. Strike 2, incredibly powerful card. And we just got this card's pretty good. Unplayable. Subpar. Ooh, is this, for a second I thought this was foil. I don't know why. Force Choke, very powerful removal. It's high advanced. Oh, I love this card. 4 cost, 3/2. When played, it's a space unit. When played, give 2 experience tokens to another friendly Imperial unit. So not just necessarily a space unit though, just whatever Imperial unit you want. Getting 4 costs for a 3/2 and then 2/2 worth of stats, very powerful. Being able to put the 2/2 on something that can then immediately attack, or maybe has Sentinel, or maybe has Shielded. You can do so much with this card. I just love it. 2 cost, 2/1. When defeated, you may give a shield token to a blue unit. I don't know about this one. Ooh, my rare is Strafing Gunship. Oh, I've seen this card before. I love this card. So it's 4 costs for a 3/4. This unit can attack units in the ground arena. This is a space unit. While this unit is attacking a ground unit, the defender gets -2/-0. Unbelievable. If you get this and you just have like dominance in the space arena, this is just so insane. All of their units, they're going to do like what, 1 on the crackback to this. You can just continually mess up their ground units and they can't even attack this thing in response if you have control of space. Wow. This is just, if this is on the board and uncontested, your opponent, you are winning that game. And we got, Vigilant Honor Guards, one of my favorite commons in foil. And that is it. I got some really, really good pulls. Those packs were way better than I could have imagined. I got this Devastator, my first ever legendary card. I even got a rare leader. I'm very excited about these pulls, and I'm also just very excited about this game. I have enjoyed playing it. One of the things I was worried about when I first sort of read the rules is, as a Magic player, one of the things that makes Magic great is being able to respond to the things your opponent does. Things can go on the stack, you can play instants, you can activate abilities. There's no responding in this game. You take an action and you know what all the results of that action are going to be before you take it. For the most part, they're going to be triggered abilities that do random things. But for the most part, you know what everything's going to do, and I was worried about that. But the amount of just interesting decisions you make in a game of Star Wars Unlimited are unreal. Because you have to think about the ordering of things. Like, yes, I have all, I want this turn, I want this unit to kill that unit, I want to play these 2 cards in hand. In Magic, that would be simple. You make the attack, and you play the 2 cards, and you pass. In this game, you have to think about everything. You have to think about the ordering. You can think about how if you attack with this one first, that'll have this one alive to then maybe like kill your units. You have to attack in a specific order. You have to think about the events your opponent could have. There's just so much strategy to the ordering of plays, and it really elevates this game in a fun and interesting way. And honestly, in a way that is new to me, having played card games. You know, I played Legends of Runeterra a little bit, but I didn't like it that much. So seeing this action system where you pass back and forth with your opponent and having it be really fun and interesting is new to me, and I'm loving it. So I'm excited to play more of this game, to get back to my game store this week and get more packs. I've pre-ordered a box, which hopefully I'll be here opening. So if you want to see that, definitely subscribe to see more. I'm also hopefully going to talk more about this game, maybe do gameplay or stuff in the future. I don't know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see in the future. I'm just very excited for Star Wars Unlimited, and I hope you guys are too. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.